Good morning everyone. Today I would like to show you another project. This time is a touch of spring round doily. For this doily I am using the same crochet hook size 1.75 millimeters and crochet sheet yarn number 10, color yellow and white. So this is Rico Essential. So let's get started. Okay, so our project, we need to start by making slip knot. And then chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now into the first chain stitch we will work slip stitch, and now we've got ring. Our first round we will start by making chain of 3. It will be first double crochet, and now into the ring we will work 23 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 23. At the end of our round we need to work slip stitch into the third chain, so into the first double crochet. So now we should have 24 stitches. Chain of 3 plus 23 double crochets. Now round number 2. Again we will start by making chain of 3 as a first double crochet, then chain 1 as a chain 1 space. Now in each stitch we need to work 1 double crochet and then chain 1. Now we are going into the next stitch and we have to work the same. Double crochet, chain 1. Into the next stitch, double crochet, chain 1. Into the next stitch, double crochet, chain 1. So now we need to repeat this pattern all the way around. So at the end we should have 24 double crochets, chain 3, the first chain of 3 is as the first one, double crochet, and 24 chain 1 spaces. At the end of our round again we need to work slip stitch into the third chain, so we should have still chain 1 as a chain 1 space. Now round number 3 we need to start by making slip stitch into the first chain space, then chain of 3 as a first double crochet and chain of 2 as a chain 2 space. Now we are going into the next chain space and we will do another double crochet, then chain of 2, 1 double crochet into the next chain space, then chain of 2, 1 double crochet into the next chain space and chain of 2. So again, now we need to repeat our pattern all the way around. In each chain space we need to work 1 double crochet and then chain of 2. At the end we should have 24 double crochets and 24 chain 2 spaces. So again at the end we will do the slip stitch into the top of chain 3 into the third chain, so we have to leave the 2 chain stitches as a chain 2 space. Round number 4, we will start by making slip stitch into the first chain space, then chain 1 as a single crochet. Now chain of 3, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 3, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 3, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 3, single crochet into the next chain space. So again, we need to repeat this pattern all the way around. In each chain space we will work single crochet and then chain of 3. So at the end we should have 24 single crochets and 24 chain 3 spaces. I am at the end of my round, so after the last chain of 3 we need to make slip stitch just into the first stitch. So into the first chain, into our first single crochet. Now we need to make slip stitch into the next 2 chain stitches, 1 and 2. So now we are exactly in the center of our chain stitch. Chain 1 as a single crochet, then chain of 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we need to work single crochet into the next chain space and chain of 4, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 4, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 4, and again single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 4. So again we need to repeat our pattern all the way around. At the end, after the last chain of 4, again slip stitch into the first chain stitch and then into the next 2. So now we need to start next round. Now it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, round number 6. So again chain 1 as a single crochet and now chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 5, single crochet into the next chain space and chain of 5. So exactly the same as on the previous round. Now we need to repeat it all the way around. Round number 7, we need to start by making slip stitch into the first 3 chain stitches, 1, 2 and 3. So again we need to be in the center of our chain space. Now chain of 1 and then chain of 6, single crochet into the next chain space and chain of 6, single crochet into the next chain space, then chain of 6, single crochet into the next chain space, chain of 6. So now we need to repeat our pattern all the way around. Round 8. So again, after as we've done single crochet into the slip stitch into the first single crochet, we need to work slip stitch into the next 3 chain stitches. So now we are in the center of first chain space. Now chain of 2 as a half double crochet, then chain of 1 as a chain 1 space, and into the chain space, maybe in the first one I will do half double crochet exactly into the same chain space. So we've done little V-stitch. Now chain of 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Into the next chain space we have to work the same. So half double crochet chain of 1 and another half double crochet, all in the same chain space. So again, little V-stitch, chain of 4, into the next chain space, half double crochet, chain 1 and half double crochet, chain of 4. Now we need to repeat this pattern all the way around. At the end of our round, after the last chain of 4, again slip stitch into the first chain space, into the first chain stitch, no space. Now we will start next round, so this will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, round number 9. We will start by making slip stitch into our V-stitch, into the center of our V-stitch, and now chain of 4, 1 2 3 and 4. This will be first treble crochet. Now into the same chain space we will work 2 more treble crochets, 1 and 2. So basically in the first V-stitch we've done 3 treble crochets. Now chain of 3, 1 2 3. We are going straight to the next V-stitch, and into the next V-stitch we will work 5 treble crochets. 1 2 3 4 and 5. So into the first one 3 treble crochets, chain of 3, into the next one 5 treble crochets, and again chain of 3. Now into the next V-stitch, again 3 treble crochets, 1 2 and 3, chain of 3, and we need to repeat into the next V-stitch 5 treble crochets, 1 2 3 4 and 5, chain of 3. So now our pattern we need to repeat all the way around. So in one V-stitch 3 treble crochets, chain 3, into the second 5 treble crochets, chain 3, and again into the first one 3 treble crochets, chain 3, into the second 5 treble crochets, then chain 3. Now we've got round 10. At the end I've done slip stitch into the 4th chain, so I've got now 3 treble crochets. Our round we have to start by making chain of 4 as a first treble crochet, and now I will do 1 more treble crochet into the same stitch. So in first stitch we've done 2 treble crochets, and the same we need to work into the next 2 stitches. 2 treble crochets in each one. 1 and 2, and into the third stitch 2 treble crochets, 1 and 2. Now chain of 3, 1 2 3. So our round we should start by making 6 treble crochets, now chain of 3, and now we've got 5 treble crochets from the previous round. Now we will work 5 treble crochets together. So what we need to do? We need to yarn over 2 times as we are working with normal treble crochet. Then we are putting crochet hook into the first stitch. We need to work through first 2 loops, 1 and 2 times. The last loop need to stay on the hook, so we are not finishing the stitch. We've got 2 loops on the hook, and again yarn over 2 times, then put your crochet hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, and again we are working through first 2 loops 2 times, 1 and 2, and again the last loop need to stay on the hook. The same into the next 3 stitches, 1 and 2, last loop is on the hook, into the next one, 1 and 2, and again we've got the last loop, and one more time, 1 and 2. So now we should have 2, 4, 6 stitches, 6 loops on our hook. Now we can work through all those 6 loops, chain 1 for secure. So we've done 5 treble crochets together. Now chain of 3, and again we've got another 3 treble crochets, so we need to work exactly the same as at the beginning. 2 treble crochets into each stitch, so 1 and 2, then into the second stitch, 1 and 2, and into the third one, 1 and 2. So we've got 6 stitches, then chain of 3. Now we've got 5 treble crochets from the previous round, and we need to work 5 treble crochets together. So again through first 2 loops 2 times, the last loop need to stay on the hook, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 loop on the hook. Now we can finish the stitch, chain 1 for secure, chain of 3, and again we've got 3 treble crochets, so we need to repeat what we've done from the beginning of our round. Round 11. So after as I've done slip stitch into the 4th chain, now we have to start by making another chain of 4. So this is the first treble crochet, then chain 1 as a chain 1 space. Into the next stitch, treble crochet, and then chain 1. Into the next stitch, treble crochet, and then chain 1. So now we need to repeat this pattern in each stitch. So treble crochet and then chain 1. Treble crochet, chain 1, and now we've got the last treble crochet. After the last treble crochet we will work chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now into the first and second chain space we need to work 2 treble crochets together, so we need to yarn over 2 times. Now we need to put crochet hook into the first chain space, grab the yarn, work through first 2 loops 2 times, 1 and 2, and the same into the next one. So yarn over 2 times, put your crochet hook into the chain space, grab the yarn, work through first 2 loops 2 times, 1 and 2. We've got 3 loops on the hook. We can finish the stitch by working through all 3 and chain of 4. Now again we've got 6 treble crochets, so we need to repeat what we've done at the chain of 3 I said, so we have to work chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain of 4, and we need to work treble crochet, then chain of 1, into the second stitch treble crochet, then chain of 1, into the third again treble crochet, chain 1, and into the next 3 stitches. And again we've got the last one. After the last one, chain of 4, then first part of the treble crochet into the first chain space, so through first 2 loops 2 times, 1 and 2, and now I am going into the second chain space and through first 2 loops 2 times. So again I've got 3 loops. Now I can finish the stitch, chain of 4, and from now we need to repeat our pattern all the way around. And now round 12, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yes, 12. We need to start by making chain of 4 as a first treble crochet, and now into the next 2 stitches we will work 2 treble crochets together. So we need to yarn over 2 times. Into the first stitch we are working through first 2 loops 2 times, the last loop need to stay on the hook, and then into the next stitch the same. We've got 3 loops on the hook, we can finish the stitch. Now chain of 5, into the next stitch 1 treble crochet, and into the last 2 treble crochets together. 1 and 2. So again we should have 3 loops on the hook, and now we can finish the stitch. Then chain of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the 2 treble crochets together from the previous round we have to work 1 treble crochet. So basically we need to put our crochet hook into that big loop, so into the top of our stitch, chain of 5, and from now we need to repeat what we've done before. So into the first treble crochet 1 treble crochet, into the next 2 stitches 2 treble crochets together, 1 and 2, into the second stitch 1 and 2. So we've got 3 loops on the hook. Now we can finish the stitch, chain of 5, into the next stitch 1 treble crochet, and then into the next 2 stitches 2 treble crochets together. Now we've got 3 loops, we can finish the stitch, chain of 5, 1 treble crochet into the top of 2 treble crochets from the previous round, chain of 5, and from now we need to repeat our pattern all the way around, so from the beginning. So at the end of my round I've done slip stitch just into the top of chain 4, and that's it at the moment. So before we will start round number 13 we have to work on our flowers, because during the round number 13 we will be joining the flowers. So as you can see I've done few already. We need to make 12 flowers all the way around. So now I will show you how to make the one, and then you will work on the another 11. So we will start by making slip stitch, slip knots, and then chain of 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Into the first chain we will work slip stitch, so we need to form ring, and we've got now our round. We need to start by making chain of 5. So first one is a single crochet, then chain of 4 into our ring. We will work double treble crochets, and we will make, and we need to make 5 of them at the moment. So we need to yarn over 3 times and 5 double treble crochets into the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now we've got 5 treble crochets plus chain plus single crochet and chain 4 at the beginning. So now chain of 4 again and single crochet into our chain, into our ring. So we've done the first group of 5 treble crochets, and before and after we've done chain of 4. So now we need to start again. Chain of 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and into the ring another 5 double treble crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. After the 5th one, chain of 4, single crochet into the ring. So now we've got 2 groups of 5 double treble crochets plus 2 chain 4 before and after. So now we need to repeat making 5 treble crochets 3 more times. So we need to start by making chain of 4, then 5 double treble crochets, then chain of 4, single crochet into the ring, so exactly as we've done here. And at the end we should have 5 petals. So each group we can count as a 1 petal. Okay, so I've done the last chain of 4, and now I will do the slip stitch just exactly into the same stitch as we start working on our first chain of 5. So I am not working slip stitch into the chain, so into that big loop, and then we need to start next round. So I will do now slip stitch in each chain until the last chain stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we should be just onto the top of, onto the 5th chain, because the first one was single crochet, and now chain of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then we are going straight to the next chain 4 on the opposite side, and into the first chain single crochet. So actually I should do one more chain stitch as a single crochet on the other side, and now single crochet, chain of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we are going into the next chain stitch, into the 4th one, single crochet, then chain of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, single crochet onto the 4th chain stitch on the opposite side. So as you can see now, we need to work chain of 7 all the way around on each petal and between each 2 petals. So as we've got now 5 petals and 5 chain and 5 spaces, so all the way around we should have 10 chain 7 spaces. Now I've got my last chain 7, so now slip stitch into the first chain, into the single crochet, and into our first chain space we will work 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4, then chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the first chain, so I am making picot now. And into the same chain space another 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I am going to the next chain space and I will do the same, 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4, then chain of 3, single crochet into the first chain stitch and another 4 single crochets into that chain space, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this pattern we need to repeat in each chain space all the way around.